The Monster Below, Nightfall, by Greenback, read by Deathlight, Chapter 4, City in the Sky. No sooner does our unexpected meeting conclude than a large carriage comes to a stop beside the gate. Two of Luna's guards hop out and take our bags. Silver speak? Mom asks as our luggage is loaded into the cargo hatch. What are Luna's guards doing here? I'll explain later. I say as I hop inside, the guard's body language reveals that they're in no mood to hang around. As soon as Mom and Dad are inside, the guards close the doors and we head off to Canada's airports. Hundreds of ponies come and go, and dozens of balloons, blimps, planes, and zeppelins. Some floating so low I can make out the rivets in the engine housing. An airport that never sleeps, for a city that never sleeps. Dad muses. The carriage heads through security checkpoints and rolls past numerous hangars besides the runway, coming to a stop at the last one, which is surrounded by tall fences and more members of the Royal Guard. Silver speak. Mom asks as we leave the carriage. Can you please tell us exactly what's going on? I'm about to answer her when an Earth Pony trots out of the hangar. He's probably the pilot, judging by the dark jumpsuit he's wearing. Silver speak? I raise a hoof. That's me. The pony offers his hoof. The name's Gusty, pilot of Her Majesty's ship, the Raven. Princess Luna assigned me to be your pilot for this little venture of yours. Wherever you need to go, I'll fly you there, no questions asked. He glances at his watch. Speaking of which, we should get going, ASAP. Why the rush? Dad asks. We got a ways to go, let's get on the move. Luna's guards are already removing our luggage from the carriage as Gusty leads us to the hangar. Within is an airship unlike anything else at the airport. It's a sleek, slim craft, neither small nor huge. Constructed from purple fabric that shimmers like millions of snake scales. Say hello to the Raven, Gusty says, beaming with pride. Fastest ship in the counterlot fleet, built to transport dignitaries and VIPs at breakneck speeds. He hurries to the gondola and lowers the boarding ramp, indicating for us to go inside. I lead the way, entering the small sitting room. While a bit cramped, it's nicely decorated in royal purple and other amenities found on luxury craft. It's a bit small, Mom says. Gusty heads for the cockpit. She's only meant to carry a few passengers at a time. Now, are we all aboard? The guards put the last suitcase on the floor and leave, closing the door behind them. Looks like it, Dad says. Then take your seats, we'll be on our way. The three of us are quick to store our suitcases and buckle ourselves into the nearest seats. From within the cockpit, Gusty flips and presses a seemingly endless amount of switches and buttons, causing the room to shake as the engines hum to life. Alright, engines online, powering up. Done. Systems good and green. He glances back. Alright folks, here we go. The hum increases. Through my window, I watch as we smoothly glide out of the hangar and into the runway. The sound of the engines get even louder. Is that normal? Don't worry, Mom says as she takes my hoof. Airships really are the safest way to travel. There's nothing to be afraid of. With a sudden burst of speed, the ship shoots ahead, gravity shoving us to the seats. Sweet Celestia! Mom yells. I glance at the window, watching as Canada Airport falls away until it's the size of a children's model. Then it vanishes as we head into the clouds, where the Raven levels out, leaving us to sail through the ocean of white and gray. There's a shimmering noise and a brief flash of light outside the windows. What was that? I ask, still trying to find my voice after such a fast departure. From within the cockpit, Gusty presses a few more buttons. Active camouflage. My boat normally takes VIPs on high-risk missions, so it has all sorts of security measures, including the ability to become invisible. He flips a switch and takes a deep breath. Alright folks, we're good now. You can walk about as you want. I undo my seatbelt. How long until we reach Genesis? Bearing any unforeseen storms, obstacles, nasty beasties, or hungry dragons. We'll probably get there by noon tomorrow. Genesis? Dad holds up a hoof in surprise. Wait, you don't mean the Genesis, do you? I nod. The one and only. No way! He shakes his head. You're kidding me, right? I shake my head as I retrieve our suitcases. Let's try not to jump about. Genesis! Do you know how many ponies wanted to go and visit there since they built the place? Everyone! What do you know about it? They call it the Dream Factory. Mom says she's as excited as Dad, but has more self-control. It's the place where miracles are born, and everything you want can come to life. Kind of like a candy factory for adults. But here's the thing, nobody knows what's going on in there. The only time anyone outside the company is allowed inside is during the yearly tech convention. And even then, they're limited to the convention area. Every year, some intrepid reporter tries to sneak out to the R&D facilities, but the guards always catch them. What do you think they're building there? Oh heck, probably anything and everything. Advanced prosthetic limbs, artificial eyes, ships that can take us into space. You name it, they're probably building it. Mark my words, at the rate things are going, we'll be seeing legs that let ponies run for days, eyes that can see things miles away, and even lungs that can let ponies breathe underwater. I bet my bottom bit that within the next 5 years, any pony who wants to fly or cast magic can get what they need to. Dad stops. The room goes silent. I glance down the small hallway, eager for an escape from the awkward silence. I'll go put the luggage away. Nobody stops me as I leave. The day passes, and the sea of clouds turn into the most beautiful shades of pink and red before giving way to the dark sky and the sea of stars above us. I'd hoped to talk to Mom and Dad more about what they've been doing in the past 2 years since we've been apart. But they retired to bed early after they ate dinner, looking surprisingly tired. It isn't long before Gusty begins to yawn, saying he's gonna go hit the hay. I point out that we might collide with something while still asleep. He flips a few switches and says the autopilot will keep us on course. Besides, if anything gets too close, the radar will let him know long before we crumple like a tin can. Flicking a few more switches, Gusty powers down the cockpit lights before heading into a small side cabin. I'm about to leave when his voice drifts through the open door. Oh, I almost forgot. He comes back into the cockpit, now carrying a small, elegant box. The princess gave this to me. She wanted you to get it before retiring for the night. I take the box, surprised at how heavy it is. What is it? Gusty shrugs as he heads back into his cabin. Now, the only pony left awake, I head down the hall to the small meeting room nested in the back of the gondola. Here, the floor is covered with thick, luxurious carpeting, illuminated by the moonlight streaming through the portholes in the walls. I make sure to lock the door behind me. Can't risk having my parents stumble inside while I work with whatever's inside the box. The distant hum of the engines drifted through the air as I set the box down and undo the locks. Swinging the lid open, the moonlight reveals a tennis ball-sized orb nestled inside, made from flawlessly smooth obsidian. I wasn't expecting this. Is there a note or something saying, oh, wait, there it is. There's a scroll nestled beside the orb. Unfurl it and take a look at the message it contains. To use the orb, rub it 3 times. Sitting down, I take the orb and rub the surface twice. A green glow appeared within the orb. Closing my eyes, I rub the orb once more. A burst of energy rushes through me like ice water, flooding my veins. It's over in a second, but it shocks me enough to drop the orb. My eyes snap open as I try to grab it, but everything around me is blurry, as if I was seeing things from underwater. What on earth is happening? I don't feel in danger, but this doesn't feel right. It almost feels like a dream. Wisps of fog slip past me. I turn to find Princess Luna standing before me. Princess, I bow. How did you get here? You called me. With the orb? Wait, the orb. Oh no, I hope it didn't crack when I dropped it. I scanned for it, spotted on the carbon next to... wait. There's a body. It looks limp and lifeless. It looks like... Wait, that's me! Oh, Puck, am I dead? No, you're not dead. You're in the astral plane. I spin back to look at her. The what? The world of dreams and nightmares, and the place where I help those who need it. I look at my hooves. They're solid and normal as they ever been. So too is the rest of me. I even touch my skin. I find that it has the same consistency as ever. Yet, that's my body lying on the floor. So, I'm not dead. That is correct. Then, what am I now? A spirit? It is difficult to explain. She glanced over her shoulder, as if hearing something far away. I must be quick, for there are others who need my help. The orb you have retrieved allows you to travel to this plane at any time. Use it to contact me for updates, or if you need my help. As for Genesis, arrangements have been made for your arrival. When you reach the city's gates, speak for the following phrase. The moon will illuminate the truth. The moon will illuminate the truth. Got it. Do your parents know where you're going to, Genesis? I shake my head. Something unseen causes Luna to glance back again. I am needed elsewhere, Silver Speak. Sleep now. We will talk again soon. She turns to walk away. I realize now is the best chance to bring up something that's been troubling me since my dad mentioned the horns and wings. Your Highness. Luna stops. I hesitate. How exactly do I phrase this? You know how I wanted wings and a horn at Metacomp. What if Genesis has them? Luna closes her eyes. Those who experience temptation's sting know not how to listen to its call. Without another word, Luna fades from sight, but not before her horn glows. Another rush of cold energy flows through me, and I'm suddenly lying on the carpet, feeling groggy and worn out. The orb continues to glow for a few moments longer before the light fades away to nothing. Rising, I put the orb back into the box, locking the lid, thinking about what Luna said. If temptation were to come to me once more, could I resist it? I don't want an answer to that. Silver Speak, are you awake? Breakfast is ready. I groan and glance at the nearby clock. It's 9 in the morning. Rolling out from under the sheets, I take a moment to rub my face and make myself halfway presentable. Then stumble into the gondola. Mom's already eating a plate full of pancakes and strawberries. Dad's working on a tiny batch of the tiny stove in the wall. Well, look who's awoken from his beauty sleep. Dad says as he takes a seat. I could use some more of it. I groan. Didn't sleep well? Not really. Any reason why? I can't tell him what's really on my mind, so I improvise. Oh, just excited about the day. And why wouldn't you be? Mom takes a big bite of pancakes, crushed blueberry juice running between her teeth. It's not like every day a pony gets to make a trip like this one. Yet another batch of pancakes goes down the hatch. You must have slept well if you're this chipper, I say. Dad chuckles. Well, we must have been visited by the sand pony, isn't that right, dear? Mom nods. Best night's sleep I've had in months. Besides, how could you not be in a good mood? Well, I've noticed you've been a lot more, how do I say it? I shake my hooves. Easygoing than you were 2 years ago. Dad nods. I'm gonna be honest with you, Silverspeak. Your mom and I, well... He hesitated. Well, let's just say something happened. We were in a funk with you being in prison and all, and I realized one day that moping around wouldn't help. So I thought, why not lighten it up a bit? I did not be so serious all the time. Managed to convince your mom to do the same thing, isn't that right, hon? Mom comes to the table with a plate full of fresh pancakes. Yes, we decided not to try to take things so seriously. Make things more upbeat when you get out. And it seems to have paid off. You haven't been out for 2 days, and you're already employed by the princess, and you're going to Genesis. I remember something Dad used to tell me when I was little. Guess we just need to grab life by the horns and hold on, right? He chuckles. Right, no matter what life throws your way. You just have to hang on and go with the flow, no matter where it takes you. He puts my pancakes down. The warm, earthy smell drifts into my nostrils. Speaking of which, I think someone could use extra syrup. Grabbing the dispenser, Dad pours the liquid over my pancakes until they're positively drowning in them. Hey, not too much! You never have enough syrup. Besides, after 2 years, wouldn't you want extra? I contemplated that for a moment. Well, can't argue with that. I take a bite, delighted in the flavors dancing over my taste buds. Seeing my parents like this, so excited and so glad to be with me, and so eagerly eating, reminds me of when I was little and our family was enjoying morning pancakes before going off on some day trip, or doing activities together. At that time, I loved being out of the house, but now I treasure them even more. Coming so close to death in Manhattan and going through 2 years in that dungeon made me realize how quickly I can lose them. Wait a minute. In Genesis, Mom and Dad are safe from Chrysalis and her changelings. But they can't stay there forever. Something may come up that requires them to head back home. And the moment they leave this city, they'll be at risk again. My appetite disappears. There has to be something I can do to help them, some way to protect them, or at least make sure they are who they say they are. But what? A constant guard to follow them around? No, that won't work. He or she could be replaced by a changeling as well. A counterspell? That might work, but I need to convince Luna to... Wait, I've got it. Oh, Mom, Dad. They look up from their breakfast. I know this won't make much sense to you, but I need you to do something for me. You both remember how I had a safe word when I was young? In case something happened to you and you need to send someone to pick me up? They nod, puzzled. Well, I want us to do that again. They eye each other. Why? Dad asks. I wish I could tell you what's going on, but I can't. Please, will you do this for me? Well, yes, of course, but is it something we need to be worried about? I can't defy Luna, but I have to give my parents something to go off of. No, but I'd like to use it as a precaution in case something goes awry. My parents are now thoroughly confused and unsure they should be worried, but after several moments' thoughts, they sigh and give in. Okay, the safe word is Quiverquill. Quiverquill, got it. Anything else? No. I say, then with a smile. Who's up for some more pancakes? Once we're done eating and the three of us finish the dishes, I excuse myself to my cabin. It won't be too long before we reach Genesis, and I need to figure out exactly how I'm going to approach my task. I spend the next few hours contemplating my strategy, coming up with several ways to approach my investigation. Eventually, I managed to boil everything down to one simple equation. If Tekking does have weapons or other ethically questionable materials, they're no doubt already hiding them. To defy the commands of the princess is foolhardy. But while most corporations in Equestria no longer put bids before the good of their employees and the public, there are still a few who don't. Being relatively new, I'm betting Tekking falls into that category. If I'm going to counter their attempts to hide incriminating evidence, then the easiest way would be to meet up the company CEO as soon as possible and use my charm on him or her to spill their secrets. If they're too strong-willed, then I'll have to arrange interviews with the employees and use my charm on them instead. A few dozen interviews should reveal if the company has anything to hide up its sleeves. There's a knock at the door. Sitra speak, it's Mom. Gusty wants to see you. I head to the cockpit, where Gusty is hard at work adjusting his instruments. You might want to gather your things, we're coming up on Genesis. How long until we're there? Probably another 2 hours. That's still a long way away. Yeah, it is, but we gotta deal with the crowds. Crowds? He indicates the radar. It beeps away, showing multiple signatures on the edge of the screen. Some big, while others are quite small. Mom and Dad come in, attracted by the sound. What are those? Zeppelins, blimps, and other aircrafts, all waiting to get into Genesis. Gusty throws back on the engine, slowing the ship. I peer out the window as the clouds drift away, revealing at least 100 ships of all shapes and sizes, ranging from one-pony crafts to enormous zeppelins, casting several craft into complete darkness from their shadow alone. Gusty groans. Oh, this is gonna be a long day. Maybe not. Can we get through to Genesis? Gusty gives me a headset. Knock yourself out. Putting on the headset, I press a button. Genesis Air Control, please come in. A no-nonsense voice comes through the speakers. This Genesis, identify yourself and provide your registration number. Gusty flicks a switch. Genesis, this is the Raven, en route for special mission from Canalot, requesting priority approach, over. Sure you are. Now give your registration number, or I'll dispatch security to escort you away from the area. Stand by. Gusty flicks the switch again and heads over to a pile of papers. Hang on, I got the things around there somewhere. I heard these guys don't mess around. I guess they don't. Gusty chuckles. Every one of these conventions is swarmed with ponies who want to get in, but don't have tickets or can't pay the entry fee. From what I've read, there's so many frauds and fakers that they have to hire additional security each year. It's especially bad on opening day, which happens to be today. Raven, provide your registration code. This is your final warning. Gusty's still searching, and I can't risk my mission being compromised. I flick my headset on. Genesis, this is the Raven. The moon will illuminate the truth. Hey, cut that out before they...
Raven, you are clear for immediate landing for platform A5. We are transmitting the coordinates now.
Numbers pop up on the console. Well, I didn't expect that. Dropping his papers, Gusty takes hold of the steering column. Nice work. Now we'll hold tight. This is gonna get a little tricky. Buttons are pressed and switches are flipped. And a shimmer goes across the windows as the Raven makes his way into the massive ships before us. Zipping along like dolphins, leaping between sailing ships of old. We're no longer invisible, and we can see countless ponies glaring at us through numerous windows and portholes. I try to ignore them, reminding myself we're on official business, and not impatient cheaters cutting in line. Gussie heads through the fleet for another 10 minutes before reaching the front. Dad's already pressing his face into the glass, wanting to be the first to see our ultimate destination. And as a large cloud bank rolls away, even Mom is momentarily overwhelmed by the sight before us. Emerging from the clouds ahead is the floating city of Genesis. I gasp. It's one thing to see the miniature hologram of it. It's something else to see the real thing. Even from miles away, the place is huge, easily dwarfing both Camelot and Manhattan combined. And it's not just the size, but the beauty too. The bottom half of the dome is metal, machinery, and gears. But the upper half is an elegant dome of bronze and glass, something that the hologram didn't show.
Raven, security hatch opening. Please proceed.
Roger that. Gusty turns the ship and heads towards a section of the dome. I had thought it was glass, but as we got closer, I realized it's actually energy that shimmers like a soap bubble. It looks fragile, but I don't want to risk testing that theory. One panel opens up as we approach and head through, only to immediately reform, sealing us inside Genesis. I join Dad in pressing my face against the glass, wanting to take in everything before me. I had figured the place would be as advanced as Manhattan, but this is a metropolis straight out of a science fiction movie. So it's packed with skyscrapers, towers, and all manners of buildings made out of shining metal, and full of technological advances I can't make heads or tails of, making Manhattan look like a native village made from mud bricks. But most peculiar are several giant windowless domes in a distance away from the towers. I'm guessing that's where the manufacturing, research, and development labs are located. Mom and Dad tears their eyes away from the windows as the Raven continues on. We cross over an enormous sports dome decorated with banners and floodlights. Judging by the crowds gathering out front, that's probably where the convention itself is being held. That would explain all the airships already docked and moored to the nearby towers, and what appears to be an airport. And while there's plenty for us to see, is the tower in the center that captures our attention. No, tower isn't a good word. It's a monolith that towers at least a mile high, maybe more, and packed with thousands of floors, windows, and small towers that jut out from the sides. The whole thing is unlike any other building I've seen before. I love to circle it for hours on end, but Dusty guides the Raven towards the landing platform and touches down with a gentle bump. A door slides open at the end of the platform. Several ponies come out, dressed in long, red coats. I'll handle this. Mom, Dad, do you want to get your luggage? I use the tone to suggest that this little face-to-face conversation is for certain ears only. And they quickly head to the passenger cabins as I open the door. A gust of warm air, permeated with a metallic taste, greets me as I hop off the Raven. One of the ponies approaches me, and the others hang back. Judging by the tactical gear, they're probably security. Behind them all is another pony in tactical gear, but she's almost as big as Celestia and much buffer. I'm guessing she's probably their captain. Sever speak? I nod. We have been expecting you. Please come with me. I'll get my parents. Due to the nature of your visits, I'm afraid they'll have to be escorted separately. I'd like to have them with me, if you don't mind. Security is very tight in this vicinity. The officer says, Princess Luna is very clear that your parents and the pilot were not to be informed or told of the reason of your visits. She indicates the large pony. She will escort them to their quarters and bring their luggage shortly afterwards. I eye the pony. She eyes me back. No way I trust my parents with a scowling face like that. I'll go with them to their quarters, and then we may proceed. Is that acceptable? The officer would make a great poker player. I can't read her face. Very well. I nod and turn to the Raven. Mom, Dad, you can leave the luggage. They'll take it. Mom trots off the ship. Oh good. Don't worry, Gusty. You don't have to carry it all. Gusty strolls from the cabin, sweating up a storm as he carries several suitcases piled high on his back. Great! Dad follows Mom, and the three of us fall behind the official as we head into the monolith. I'd guess that a company devoted to the latest and cutting-edge technology would decorate the headquarters lavishly with the stuff. But I'm surprised just how far teching has gone. The walls, ceilings, and floors were all made of bronze, and there are numerous light units embedded in the walls, and candleless chandeliers dangled above our heads. Everything's so spotlessly clean. How many hours did the poor janitors put into keeping everything polished? Mom and Dad are practically beside themselves as we head deeper into the building. Considering how few ponies ever come here, I can't blame them. They're like pilgrims into a holy land. Any and all frustrations being taken on this unexpected detour long gone. Getting into an elevator, we head up several floors into a hall built of the finest marble and granite money can buy. The big pony heads to a door and uses her magic to unlock it. Eager to see what lies ahead, my parents rush inside. I start to follow, but the official puts a hoof on my shoulder. A quiet reminder that I need to be elsewhere. I'll be back later. I call out. Take your time, kiddo. Dad calls back. As soon as the big pony comes back, my escort presses a button, sending us back up. I bite my lip as we start up. It didn't feel right to leave my parents, but I need to continue my work. They'll be safe here, and we all know the password. Wanting to distract myself, I study my escorts. They aren't very happy to see me. The big pony in particular keeps looking me over. I try smiling. She narrows her eyes. The elevator comes to a stop. I'm led into the lobby. But more elegant than anything I've ever seen. The bronze motif is strong here, mixed with intertwining metallic decorations around the pillars and posts. At the back is an ornate elevator, and before that is a gilded desk, complete with a bored secretary as we head to the left to a heavily reinforced door. The large pony holds up a golden badge of a scanner, causing the door to silently glide open, leading me into what appears to be the tower security hub. That shown text and pictures moving about. What are those? Probably some sort of mechanical wonder Tekken has created. A pony dressed in a fancy security uniform rushes over. He's a lean, muscular fellow with a gaze that has seen a lot. He somehow manages to risk becoming cynical. Silva speak? Yes? He gives me a quick hoof shake. I'm Onyx Shield. I'm in charge of security for the monolith. Please pardon the rush, but we're very busy. He indicates for me to follow him into an office, which I do so. You'll be given a full briefing later, but here's the basic gist. Security is our top priority here, and each floor of the tower is designed to allow those who have the exact security clearance. Namely, these. He holds up a gold badge, identical to the one the big pony carries. Reaching into his desk, Onyx pulls out a small box and unlocks it. Inside is a lanyard attached to another gold badge. He gives it to me. Because of your status, this card grants you access to every part of the city. Furthermore, if you require assistance or an escort of any law enforcement officer, show this and you shall receive it. For obvious reasons, do not lose it. Your parents will be given their own badges shortly. They will have access to the recreational and the entertainment facilities, but none of our research, development, and factory facilities. I don't think they'll mind. They're so excited just being here. Onyx chuckles. Them and hundreds of others. There's a beep from a radio on his vest. Excuse me, I have to get back to work. I'll have your escorts guide you to your room. We leave his office and head to the giant pony and the waiting official, who leads me back to the elevator. But I don't feel like going down just yet. I've been given my security clearance, and now it's time to start my plan. Are there any floors above us? Yes. What are they? The private quarters of the CEO. I'd like to meet him if possible. I'm sorry, but he's very busy. It'll only be for a minute. Even if I can't get a full session with the head of Tech Inc., I'd like to, at the very least, say a brief hello. I need to give a good first impression and show I'm not some inquisitor he needs to fear. That won't be possible. He's very busy organizing the convention. If I can't see the pony himself, perhaps there's another step I can take. Can we arrange a meeting then? One's already been made for tomorrow morning, and now, come. With nothing else to do here, I allow my escort to take me to the elevator and down to another ornate hallway, where I'm led to an equally opulent door. The official unlocks it and stands aside, waiting for me to enter. I do so, expecting an elegant room. But what they gave me isn't a room for a guest or even a dignitary. It's a penthouse worthy of royalty itself, made from the finest materials and filled with the best luxuries bits can buy. From the silk sofa to golden chandeliers, and the polished wood that shines beneath my hooves. And that's not all, for the giant windows give me an unprecedented view of the city below. Airships continue to make their way inside the dome. And even from so high up, I can see hordes of ponies lining up at the stadium a short distance away from the monolith. The convention isn't even scheduled to start for another few hours. And already there are tens of thousands of ponies gathering together for the opening ceremony. The opening ceremony will begin momentarily. Your pass will grant you VIP access. Without another word, she departs with the others, closing the door behind them. I stare at the windows, studying the masses of ponies below. With a meeting between myself and the CEO arranged, my next step is to go to the opening ceremony of the convention and get an idea for what all the hubbub is about, both for professional purposes and to satisfy my own curiosity. But more importantly, the CEO himself may be there, and I could possibly get an unscheduled face-to-face with him. If I pull off a good first impression, that would make my work so much easier. Genesis is a big place, and if Tech Inc. wants to hide something, they have, I don't know, several million rooms and places they can do it in. I may be an official envoy for the princesses, but the odds aren't in my favor if Tech Inc. decides to hide something, which makes getting on the CEO's good side all the more important. There's a knock on my door. Come in. My parents trot inside, both dressed in fancy attire. Man, these talking ponies sure know how to impress guests. Dad says, please the dark blue fabric with the bronze sewn into the edges. A bit excessive, but impressive. Did the two of you visit some of the shops around here? I ask. Believe it or not, these were actually waiting for us in our room. How's that for service? Did you see yours? I haven't checked the closet yet. I do so, and find a fancy coat waiting for me. Only fitting that the princess's ambassador should be dressed for the occasion. Speaking of occasions, your father and I would love it if you'd come with us to the opening ceremony. She puts a hoof on my shoulder. It would really mean a lot to us. Of course, I say as I slip the coat on. I'd be happy to. I was planning to ask if Mom and Dad wanted to come with me, but there's no harm in them asking first. I bring up my badge. I think this will help us skip the lines as well. I might as well have told Mom that I got her free tickets for a trip to the moon, as her eyes almost bulge out of their sockets. And no sooner had the words left my mouth than Dad eagerly points to the door. Lead the way, son. The three of us are quick to enter the elevator and head towards the ground level. But we don't even go 5 floors before it comes to a stop and several ponies get in. All dressed in clothes equally as fancy as ours. There's a pattern that repeats on every floor. And it isn't long before the three of us glance at each other and decide to go and find another way down. So leaving the crap elevator, we head to the nearest service desk and inquired about finding another way to the convention. The attendant, no doubt annoyed of having been asked this many times before, changes her tune when she notices my badge. And before I know it, the three of us are floating away from the monolift in a small taxi, granting us a panoramic view of the ever-growing crowds beneath us. Wow, look at them all! Dad nudges me. Good thing we don't have to join them, eh? Don't expect this for everything. I say, looking my badge over. Can't go around abusing this. Oh, of course not. Glancing at Mom, Dad leans in close. Hey, you know if we can get you free drinks at the restaurant? Honey! What? The taxi flies low as we reach the front of the crowds. Landing in a small space reserved for VIPs. Guards are present, but they quickly give way as I show my badge, clearing us a path to a small waiting room in the very front of the crowd. My parents strut along, delighted at the chance to feel like royalty for once. I can't say I blame them. It's easy to get excited here. The air is practically crackling with energy, and most of the crowd are now jumping up and down in excitement. Our arrival couldn't happen at a better time. A small door opens on a balcony high above us moments later. Every voice in the crowd goes silent as a unicorn struts into view. It takes me a moment to realize that it's the official who met me on the platform. She clears her throat before casting a spell to amplify her voice. Mares, stallions, and foals! It is Taking's pleasure to welcome you to the 3rd Annual Convention of Science and Technology. For the next 3 days, all our wonders in technology shall be yours to see, explore, and touch. The wonders of the future lie before you. The official grabs a tug woven from the finest threads, and yanks it as hard as she can. Welcome to the future, Equestria! With a great and mighty rumble, the doors open wide. With barely contained enthusiasm, the crowd roars as they surge inside. My parents try to join them, but I grab hold and keep them back. To join the mess would only ensure that they get separated in a heartbeat. And that's the last thing I want. Now that Dad is going along my plan, he itches to run inside. When the crowd slows to a reasonable level, I motion to a guard to come over. Could we get an escort inside? I ask, holding up my badge. He nods. Thus, with the guard clearing the way, we enter the crowds and make our way into the stadium, which is crammed with all manners of booths and displays. The thousands of ponies that swarmed in before us are already squeezing into every possible space in an effort for the first glimpse of the vendors displaying their wares. But along with all the commotion and the excited shouts, there's a huge stage at the very back of the stadium. Most of the ponies are making their way there. What's being shown there? I asked the guard. It's the main presentation, sir. How long until it starts? 10 minutes. Then, let's see if we can't get some seats. Of course, follow me. The guard makes his way through the crowd, my parents and I close behind. I don't want to miss out on this presentation. Whatever it may be, I have a feeling that it's going to be big.